All right, so welcome everybody. This is Jason Ross with Coach Ross Football. Um, this is now the third episode of the Coach Talk series that we are doing, and I am lucky enough to have a great guest in here, a guy that I learned a lot from too, a man that in our community now needs no introduction, but he's still going to get one from me anyways. But we have Coach Mike Hardwick in here from Oxford, Mississippi, right, Coach? I got
That's
Oxford.
it.
All right,
That's it.
you've been
God
coaching for
country.
how long now?
I've been at Oxford since 2005, but we've been running the air raid stuff since about 2010ish or so. I mean, so we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. And I can say right now that when I stumbled upon and when I started going full on air raid with my offense, I stumbled upon Matt Lasker and his video that he did with Coach Mackey. And believe it or not, the actual second video that I watched of Coach Lasker was actually him with you, that long discussion. I think it was like an hour and a half long discussion, and I watched every single minute of that and hung on by every minute because believe it or not, you taught me a lot too when I was watching that video. So I'm glad to have you on here. This series is dedicated towards those young coaches because we all were young coaches at one point in time and completely overwhelmed, especially when it comes to the responsibilities and all the I guess the stress when it comes from a head coach, especially when it comes to game planning for an opponent and putting your players in the best position to be successful. And that also talks about stringing together a successful drive and play calling. So it all goes into it. So all that can be completely overwhelming for a new coach. I kind of wanted to bring in other coaches who have a lot of experience and kind of shed some light on how they would handle it and how they would do it. And you've got some great stuff that I'd love to hear about, and you got some great insights. So I guess first we want to talk about is game planning. How would you go about game planning for a particular opponent, Coach?
We typically we play on Thursday nights. I've called around. We are unlike you, where you and I visited just Zoom about the way y'all do things, and that's one of the things is that there's no standard in middle school. Every state and even within states, regions, districts, conferences, all do things differently, and it is just a nightmare. There's no uniform standard or even no state standard for middle schools. Our league, I'm in Oxford, Mississippi, Oxford Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
We're 6A, which is the largest classification. We are the smallest school in that classification. We play in a middle school league. So for lack of a better word, this is big boy football in the state of Mississippi.
Right.
7th and 8th grade. We have two separate teams. And I guess somebody has to be in charge. I guess I'm in charge of both teams. We have a 7th grade coach and staff, and I guess I'm the 8th grade coach and staff, but I'm over all that. So we have anywhere from 100 to 120 guys. We play other teams from Starkville, Mississippi, a couple hours away to South Panola, which is from the west. So we play 2.5 hours away. These are the best schools in the state, the strongest schools in the state. Oxford in the 6A, our high school for the last 8 years, we've been in the state championship game 5 times, and we're the smaller school. In fact, we just lost last Friday in the last 6 seconds. We lost by a point. And that was our 5th time to be in it last 8 years. So this is good football. So we all play on Thursday nights. We are actually at the old high school. We have a new high school. So all the athletic facilities, actually my locker room is the visiting team's Friday night locker room. So I spend all the time on Fridays getting the high school field ready because the high school guys are over at their school a couple miles away. So nothing happens middle school football on Fridays. We play on Thursday. So we have to do all of our game planning on Saturdays, which probably most middle school coaches do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of get together on Sundays. We do huddle film. It's actually a requirement in our league to exchange huddle film, to record your games. And that's you have to agree upon that to enter in our league. So that's a big help. So we, try to get the huddle films, from the different teams, and we'll work on that. Coaches, of course, this year we'll Zoom it on Sunday, and I usually go to school, and defensive coordinator goes to school, and we'll look at some stuff on Sunday, kind of get a general game plan. I'll go home. We'll Zoom coaches 7:30, and it starts to take shape, and then we try to put some stuff in on Monday, some stuff in on Tuesday. Those are our big practice days. Walk through on Wednesday, and we play again on Thursday. Not sure I even answered your question, but that's kind of how we do stuff. We do huddles. Each player has their own account. And when we get into it here in a minute, we also have a software package that the players have on their app called Just Play Software. Mm-hmm. It is not very expensive. It's very user-friendly. Coach has been trying to get me how to do the StreamYard, and we're really struggling doing it. So if I can do the Just Play, anybody can do it. And so that's how we load. We load practice clips. I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to show you some practice clips. Yeah. We load our routes that we're going to do that week. We load it on the Just Play. So the players get a chance to look at it. And every time we load content, just like your phone dings and says, "Hey, Jason Ross has got new content. Coach Hardwick has just loaded some new Just Play content." So it's probably a bad thing. So if I load it during the day while they're in class, they'll get the ding on their phone. They can get out and look at their Just Play stuff. So that's how we, so anyway, that's generally how we sort of kind of get everything organized, get information to the players. That's for middle school and youth. The single biggest thing is probably if I ask you what's your single biggest challenge, you'd probably say practice time. Just getting time with our players. Yeah. How it's a struggle. And certainly in the pandemic, we could do a whole show about that and how it's different. Mm-hmm. So the different ways you can reach out to your players, whether it's huddle, Just Play, even just texting groups, Zooms, anything you can do to reach out to your players to educate them, you need to do it. I mean, and there's, that's the one thing to learn on the pandemic. And in fact, I was talking to our high school coach yesterday, and we were talking about the Zoom thing, and we're like, you know what? We don't think we need to meet as much. Kids, me and you want to meet and talk to each other and see each other face to face and be in the room and see all the kids. And there's a lot of value in that. But kids learn a lot better than we do off this technology and the phone. I mean, it's no biggie to them. They probably pay more attention to that than you getting up in front of your class lecturing. Just put your content on and of course, and you're doing that now because you're doing it virtual. Mm-hmm. That's how kids do it. And so anyway, I've learned a lot of how to get content out different ways. And, you're always wondering, well, are they looking at it? And that's the thing about the Just Play. You can actually do quizzes, and I don't have it on the Duplo game plan, but if we can get this, I can show you where some of our other stuff in other weeks, we have created quizzes, and it grades the quizzes and all that stuff. Okay. So that's another thing. And so, you can look at all, see who's touched the quizzes, go back to the players. So anyway, that's just a different way. That's just kind of how we do a weekly thing. I'm not sure I've answered your question.
No, you actually did, but you actually brought up a really good point about, and you and I think had touched on this when we had met before,
right?
About the pandemic in a way has been kind of I don't want to say a blessing in disguise, but as far as teaching us how to use technology and different ways to reach our players outside of just the practice field to, prepare them and better educate them on what we're trying to do and things like that. I mean, that is true. Take me, for example, I wouldn't be able to see or even talk to my players until the first day of school when we get ready to start football tryouts. But I've been able to use the spring and the summer to have virtual meetings to kind of start installing things and showing them what we're going to be doing. So they're already building those mental reps, which are, quite frankly, just as important as the actual physical reps. So all of a sudden that translates out in the field. That helps. So using that technology that we have, the just play for you and the huddle and everything like that you use is an awesome tool to use. So like you said, coaches had that available. I don't have that available yet. I'm still trying to work on it. My school doesn't have it. And I'm we talked earlier, I'm extremely jealous about some of the time that you have with your players and the apps and everything that you use, because I wish I had that, because even you were surprised when I told you that, no, us coaches in the district that I coach in, we don't have film exchange.
Wow.
So it is a shot in the dark as far as prepping for a team each week. It's kind of word of mouth through coaches, or we are scouring the internet looking for YouTube clips and social media. So we become real good detectives as far as trying to find out what our team, what our opponent's doing that week. And some, quite frankly, half of it is wrong anyways, because some coaches are just trying to throw up smoke screens to us.
Yep.
So I really wish we had the film exchanges like that. So that leads me to one of my next question. Actually, is when you are actually watching film of an opponent, because I've seen this question kind of like on the middle school air raid community before, and I saw someone ask this question. I couldn't remember who it was, but it was a great question. What are you looking for first?
All right. As a coach, of course, we're the main part of your practice time obviously is going to be on offense, stopping the others, other defense. You've got to get your offense and your practice plays, whatever you're going to do, your scripts. You got to learn. You got to know kind of what they're doing on defense. So what I'm looking for is the defensive front and 1 and 2 high safety. And that's what we're going to teach our quarterback and our wide receiver, our skill guys, that they're also looking pre-snap. They're looking at who the number 2, and I'll explain all this. Hopefully, if I don't, ask me when we get into it. Okay. The number 2 defender, that's primarily is our read guy. And we're looking if it's 1 and 2 high safety.
Right.
That's the thing that I'm looking for. Of course, we're looking for, then thirdly, the front. Odd and even. So those are the basic 3 things, and that's where all of our rules come from. Is it an odd or even front? That tells our line how to block, and I'll get into that. And the quarterback and skill, where is the 2 defender lined up, and is it 1 and 2 high safety pre-snap? That's basically what I'm looking for every clip that I'm looking at on the other team's defense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much just like you, looking to see how their safeties are aligned and to see how that front is. And basically I'm also looking for, and this is just me personally, because when I get into the game, I'm looking for any kind of, obviously, a weakness. Is there a weak corner that I can see that I can pick on a little bit, that I can take advantage of? So I'm kind of looking to see how their corners are aligning a little bit, and also seeing if there's any, just based on the film that I see, is there a defender that possibly looks, to be like their weakest link that I could possibly take advantage of in my game plan for that particular opponent. So that's good, Coach, and that's a great answer and a great little tip there to get us going. So you're going to go ahead and show us your game plan stuff right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it on here for you. So there we go. We should be able to see it on the screen here. So should be good to go now, Coach.
All right, so if everybody see this is, if everybody can see the Tupelo game plan.
Yeah, we should be able to.
And that's who. Geez, I hope Tupelo's not watching this. What we're talking this is, we only played 4 games this year. We were lucky to get that. I know you guys hadn't even played.
No.
So our little league, once we got together, we had basically 5 weeks to play 4 games. We played each other one time. 4 games in our little league that we have. We divided it into, for travel, east and the west, so to keep it in 2 geographic hubs. And we just, instead of playing for going 2 hours, because we're all under travel restrictions now as well, because different communities with the spread and all that stuff. So we just played within an hour. These schools, 4 games, 5 weeks. This is our last game. This team, we played both 7th and 8th grade. We're undefeated. This is and this is, Tupelo is the largest. I just told you, I gave you a tidbit. We're the smallest 6A school in the state. Tupelo is the largest high school in the state. They have, of course, in other states, you're going to laugh because it's small, probably 3,200 students.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what are the numbers like, because, like, for example, my school in my county is the biggest middle school in our county. We have about 1,500 in our
we have. All right. Well, Tupelo is the biggest high school in the state, 2,300. We're the smallest 6A. We have 1,200. Okay. Our middle school, the 7th and 8th grade, we have 600 students in 650, something like that, in grades 7 and 8. And that's middle school. That's what Mississippi is.
So yours just 7th and 8th, because
7 and 8.
Ours was 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's where we're 1,500.
All right, so we would be we're about 350 a grade, between 350 a grade. So if we did that, we'd be right at 1,000 students. We'd be somewhere between 900, 950, 975,000 students if we had 3 grades. So we just have the two. We just have the 2 grades. And some schools still do that, but athletically, you can only participate in football in 7th and 8th grade.
Yep. That's
some minor sports. 6th graders, you can play, like tennis and some minor sports. Football, you can only play 7th and 8th grade.
They just started that rule with us, where for a while there, actually it was just about 2 years ago, 6th graders weren't allowed to do anything. Now they're allowing the 6th graders to play anything, try out for anything they want. Soccer, baseball, basketball, wrestling. The only thing they can't do is football.
Okay, interesting. Ours is the major sports. Football, basketball, baseball. They can try out they can run track and girl softball. Believe it or not, just because it's girl softball numbers in Mississippi aren't very big. It's usually 7 through 12 anyway. So 6th graders can do that, and they can do tennis and swimming and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right. So go back to your question of what am I looking for. So Tupelo 7th and 8th grade teams hadn't lost a game. They were huge. So we knew that this was going to be a challenge. So the first thing that comes up is, what is their defense? So here's their defense. It is a 3-4, 5-2-ish looking thing, 2 high safeties.
Well, we can't see that right now again, Coach. I might need to stop sharing and bring it back up again.
All right. What do I need to do?
So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop sharing. Yeah, hit the stop sharing button on the bottom of the screen.
Well, I don't see it. Oh, okay. Stop.
There you go. And bring it back up. Because all we could see was the game plans right there. Right. If you had switched off to another screen, we didn't see it. So go ahead and share screen again. Do it the same way.
All right.
Sorry for everybody watching. If you want to join in, feel free to join in and be part of the discussion. Be happy to have you. I'm waiting for Coach Hardwick to come back.
Editing is gonna come into play again.
That's okay.
All right, that's right. Share screen.
Yep.
Chrome tab. That's what we decided, right?
Yeah.
Playbook app. That should be it. It should be up.
Yeah, game plan. I can see your mouse moving now, so you should be good now. So.
All right.
Because I couldn't see the mouse moving before, so.
All right, I'm gonna try it again. Tupelo defensive front.
Yep, there we go. We're good.
All right, just want to continue on. You can do the editing.
Yeah, I'll edit it later.
All right. Our first challenge, and like you were talking about, what are we looking for first? We are looking at their defensive front, and from huddle, you can see on the right, I have gone ahead. Now, again, this is what players look at. What I'm showing you is what I've loaded onto the players app that they're seeing on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've loaded from huddle. I've loaded some of their defensive clips to show the players. But what you see on the clips, if you notice what was our number one thing with Tupelo was this year. Typically, they're two high safeties, and they run that quarter coverage, with the two high, But these guys, they were almost in a 5-2 this year. These guys were like 2 yards off, 2 yards. They were not on the line of scrimmage, but they weren't really covering our receivers. So we knew they were going to blitz some, which made us work on our blocking. And that's what we had to look at. Okay, if they're going to come, they're better than us up front. We're going to stick with our tried and true quick game, one read, quick game stuff, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Because if we do some sexy, lot of stuff that goes downfield, they're going to come after us, and that was going to lead to some problems. So I'm going to show you. You see on the right the clip here. This is another team they played, and they played. So they got doubles.
Yeah. So I mean, right now, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't even look like they're covering that slot receiver.
Yeah, so coaches, what do you see here? What do you see here? You basically see a 5-2. Now this is their 8th grade. This is their 8th grade, but you see these guys are humongous.
Right.
Look at this corner out here. Look how big that corner is. So and look at their stance. Or they look like they're going to drop?
Oh no, they look like they're coming. They definitely coming.
So let's run the clip. So yes, there's a lot of, as we teach in air raid, we're looking for green grass. There's green grass out here if we can get to it. So let's run this clip. But watch this guy right here. So you'll understand why we had to make sure. They go in motion. He goes off sides. Again, this is not us. This is another team. Watch this guy.
Well, he was coming with reckless abandon either way. So
and that's the other guy on the other side. That's the other linebacker. Look at those big pieces of fugitiveness. And against trips, this is what they're going to do in trips. This is what we want. Now, if we go to trips, we think we can have something on the trip side. We know now. You've noticed here, and if you noticed on the other side, let's go back and run the clip again. On the other side, they got doubles over here. Let's go back. Let's then go back to this play. He's off a little bit. He looks like he's almost on the line of scrimmage because there's nobody there. So we knew. See, I've got him here, and we told our kids, if we go trips, this guy's going to line. He's probably going to come. But we've got a lot of green grass. We've got a lot of holes over here, but we got to block this guy. So I'm going to go back over now. Hopefully we can still screen share. Hopefully this will work, Coach. Fingers crossed. We still good?
Yeah, we're still good.
Oh my goodness gracious! I'm pumped.
Yep, we're still good.
So the next thing we know, if you noticed, that's basically 5-2. We're not going to run against that, are we? I mean, we're not going to run. We're going to go 2x2 and 3x1. So we already know the only way for us to stay in the game is quick game. Our quick game routes. We already know we're probably not going to be a lot of run, or at least early, until we loosen that up a little bit.
Yep.
So our main practice thing for the line has got to be our pass pro. Everybody see it?
Oh, yeah, we see it.
All right. Typically, odd front for us. Again, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, and then somebody may go, Coach, that's all wrong. Odd front, 2 linebackers. We have our passing rules for quick game is big on big.
Yep.
And we have passing rules against the even front with 2 linebackers, so an even front and odd front. And you have to know the only other thing is if there's 1 linebacker in the box or 2 linebackers in the box. All right. Odd front, 2 linebackers in the box. Big on big.
Right.
We're not going to count these guys right now.
Right.
So big on big, big on big, big on big, big on big. What we do is odd front, 2 linebackers. See my mouse. These 2 guys, the center and the left guard, these 2 guys have got those 2 guys.
Yeah.
These 2 guys have the Willie in the nose
Mm-hmm.
against our regular rules. So again, let's go over that. Regular 5-2 or 3-2 front.
Mm-hmm.
Locked on, locked on, locked on. These two guys have these two guys. So who's free? In that, this guy's actually free.
Yep.
This guy has that guy. Okay. If he comes. All right. But we figure, go back to the 5-2, we figure that's not going to work. You saw those big old animals. We got to count for those guys. We do have an out call. If you were to walk, so if I play you, you know that's our blocking rules. You know how Oxford goes. You're probably going to mess us up and bring that guy on the line some. We do have an out call. Out means I block out, he blocks. Back blocks. Well, we didn't want to do that.
Right.
We thought that was a lot of movement. So we thought we'd still stay in our rules, man on big, big on big. We're going to take these two guards and change their rules for this game and just make a 3-man wall. We want to make a 3-man wall. We want us to get back, step it, and you see our first step. So he's going to step with the left foot. I'm going to step with the right foot, shoulder to shoulder. And you'll see in the clips if we can never get to it.
What are your before they do that and get shoulder to shoulder? What are your splits originally?
Our splits are 2 yards and 3 yards. We have big splits.
They are pretty big, yeah. Because I usually about 2.5 to 3 feet.
This is our 8th grade. You can see our splits. This is our 8th grade pass pro. So and this is the thing about the just play. We'll practice clips and we'll put it on the just play. We'll load them from huddle onto here, and we'll tell our players to look at it. And every now and then we will Zoom position groups and meet it. So this was Monday practice. We have 2 days of this. So our R's are pretty smart and are also one of our best athletes. So they had the biggest chore. They had to always look to block the backside guy, but basically they had to block both these guys. And yeah, that's 7 guys. So we can't block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't block 7. So we want to make sure we always block the backside guy. And we told the quarterback, if they all come or they bring the backside guy and we block the backside guy right, and he comes on the delayed stunt, he's unblocked. You're going to get hit. You better get rid of him. But there's your numbers. Remember, I told you what we're going to look at. We're looking at what defender to throw off of.
Yep. And then open grass.
The 2 defender. So who is the 2 defender on this defense? Is it that guy or this guy? This guy. These 2 guys are the 2 defenders. So they are problems. They have to be accounted for, but they're also right there in front of the quarterback. There's who we're throwing off of. There's who I read, and there's green grass. There are plays to be made, but we've just got to practice it and make sure we know what we're doing. So I want to show you clip number 4.
Okay.
Okay, just because that's not me. I might be even back here filming. This is our 8th grade again. So you'll see he's telling which ones, and they're our splits. Little, 1.5 to 2. We've got big splits, 2.5 to 3 here. So you'll look at you'll see the back checking, and then he didn't come, and he gets this back. So just a quick see what we're doing this week. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but here we go. You see him checking.
Yep.
He didn't come, and then he goes back. And look, we've got it all in the wide. We've got it all in the wide, just like we want it. And we went over some quarterback drills about, hey, dude, you're going to have to move in the pocket now. And see, he moves in the pocket to get his throwing lane. Perfect. That's perfect. Eighth grade, you can't. I think that's pretty good. I can live with that. We can work with that.
No, that is good.
But again, that's what we're trying to do. So we've got them in the they're in that 5-2. They're in the 5-2, basically a 5-2. He's out a little wider. But they're in the game. They're going to be up here. We're blocking big. Oh, another thing that we changed this year, and you might see, they're going to step inside. When we block big on big, we tell our guys, You might laugh at me, coaches,
Ah.
but think about it. Think about it. We're telling Coach Ross, if you're the tackle, I'm telling you, and you're this guy, I'm telling, hey, Jason, remember, you're only blocking half a man. So we want you to get inside, and we want you to block that inside half. And let's see if he does that. Let's see if he does that.
No, that's a good point to do.
See him jump inside?
Yeah, no.
That's inside. We teach you, well, if you can, we don't expect you to block, and you saw how big them dudes are. We don't expect you to block the whole guy. We want you to block half a man, the inside half.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do this properly, he's probably going to take an outside release.
Yeah.
You step with him, but you just block the inside half. Okay.
And it's kind of similar to what I basic simple little rule, whether it's pass pro or run blocking, inside, head up, outside. They got to kind of follow that.
It's the same thing inside. Yep. Same thing. We're all doing the same, teaching it the same way. Mm-hmm. We just kind of came up with it because that's how the high school does it. They say,
I like that. That's
we're not going to cover you up. We just want to block half a guy, inside half, push him out. He's going to go out. Okay.
We always tell our tackles not to, do not let anything flash in front of your face.
Okay. All right. Hopefully this will work like it did before. Are we back?
We did. We're back.
Okay. So, and that's our day 2 of Pass Pro. We won't look at that, but we loaded up, and it looks a lot cleaner than that. That's our second day of looking at that. We loaded up to the players to look at it. That again, you can see how this is really a good teaching tool for kids. So let me stop here. These are routes. So we've taken care of the line. We've showed them what their defense is. We've given them a few clips. We've showed them. We've scared them half to death. They've seen the big mooses, but we've showed them how we're going to attack it. We've given them some practice clips. We've gone out and practiced them. Our skill guys, here are main routes that we're really repping in group work this week. These are quick game routes. This is what we're brainwashing them. This is the only way we're going to be able, if we need 3 seconds. Our quick game routes are one, we're reading the 2 defender, 1 read. Coach Mackey, which you and I both have, we talked about him the other night. Mm-hmm. Coach Mackey calls it if then. Yep. If that defender does this, then you do this. And that's what we're going to do. And we're telling everybody, quarterback, R's, wide receivers, run your routes just like we tell you to, no more, no less. Get your head on swivel, get the green grass, and look, because we don't have a lot of time. So that's what we're repping.
Yeah.
So go ahead and ask me the question. I just said, coaches, I said, okay, we're going to do a simple 1 read, 1 guy every route. You're going to read the 2 defender, except for 1 route that's not on here. And if he does this, you do that. So go ahead and ask me the question if you're the quarterback, which you're probably going to ask me. You're going to ask me, well, coach, what happens if he does this? And what are you going to ask me? If nobody's open. Which we did. And our answer is you throw it in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And we practice that. We'll practice that in 7-on-7, and quarterbacks hate it. I'll go up to the quarterback, whisper in his ear. Okay, I'll call the route, and I go, hey, you throw it to the receiver 5 yards in front of him, and if it does right, it's gonna hit the ground, and it's gonna go right in his hands after it hits the ground. So we actually practice that. So we tell our quarterbacks, if then. If the defender does that, then you do that. And if nobody's open, you throw it in the ground or get back to the line of scrimmage. There's no throwing it. If you don't see it, you don't throw it shit. You don't try to make a play. You don't try to run around. You either throw it in the ground or you get back to the line of scrimmage and we'll live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that's, again, part of our quick game philosophy. It's not sexy. It's no Y crosses. It's no meshes. It's not sexy. I'm going to show you our number 1 quick game route. And you can see I've got a bunch of clips. And and none of these are past year clips, obviously. So we don't have to watch any of that. If you want to see any, I can show it to you. But this is for 9 years our number one quick game route right here. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I put it on here just for this presentation because I'm telling our players we're not doing it this week. Because I've got it drawn up here against the one high safety. I'm scared to death about their two high safeties since their guys are so in tight. I figure they know we're going to do this. They're going to jump this route. So I'm telling our guys we're not doing this route.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to show you a clip if we get to it. I mess up and call this play. We score a touchdown. So there you go. You get lucky sometime.
Yeah.
Any questions on this route you want to ask me? Now, we don't run stick. If you've seen any of my stuff, and Lasker and I, every time I get on Lasker, he's always laughing at how Hardwick's always asking about the stick.
I've given some crap about it too.
You have. We do run the stick out of trips. I don't run the stick out of this. This is our stick play. There's some stick concepts here. We're running a slant. This is a shallow. We call it a hitch because we're different. But this is a shallow.
Mm-hmm.
This is a shallow. Everybody wants to run the meshes and the shallows. Well, we're going to get good at this before we do that. And we've repped this every week hundreds of times. Just like the stick, our back flares automatically. So we're putting this two defender in a bind. This is who the quarterback reads. If the safety stays right here or drops, he hits this. If he attacks, he throws it immediately. If he vacates and drops, then we've got a guy running underneath in this green grass. If then, it's quick.
Yep.
The other thing I think what we do is a little different than a lot of other people. I'm not trying to tell you our way is better or worse. Everybody does. That's the beauty of the air raids. You can do it how you like.
Absolutely.
But you notice we're doing the same. Every quick game route we have, and there's 4 basic routes. We do the same thing on both sides. So you can't cheat. There's not a rhythm side and there's not a read side. We're going to do the stick here. We're going to do the slant hitch, and backside we're going to read it, and we're going to do slants, hitches or shallows or slants. Well, I don't care who you are. I don't think 7th or 8th grade guy can read that
right
properly. I don't. We can't. I'm not good enough. We can't do it, and I think we're pretty good. We can't do that. We just do if or then. I call the side. Yep. But the receivers are doing both same things on both sides. So you can't cheat. Your safeties can't cheat. And a lot of times, a lot of people assume that we're going to run this to the backside. Mm-hmm. But I've got some clips here I can show you here where when this back runs, because if you ask me, one of our number one plays, it's not a quick game, but is our R flare, which you've asked me about.
Right.
Well, I promise you, as much as we run this about 30 times a year. Mm-hmm. We run this 5 or 6 times a game. So I promise you, this guy's flying, and he's probably running over there. So we purposely will run the stick with the R flare to the right, but I'm going to call to the left side. And I promise you, this linebacker's doing this and doing this. And this guy's on the island, and he doesn't know what to do. So again, it's an if-then throw. We can watch some clips if you want to. This is our number one quick game route, and we're not going to do it this week. Because you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this right here. This is a derivative of you just saw that before.
Yep.
But here, we're going to do all shallow. Everybody's doing a shallow. 4 yards across, 4 yards and across, 5 yards and across. He's told no more than 4, no more than 5. If your guy's playing you tight and you can't drive him off, cut it off. But don't go 6. Don't go 7. Don't go over 4. Remember, these guys are off the line of scrimmage, so this is really just a 2-yard route. This is a mesh route. So I'm teaching you the mesh without you knowing it. So and I'm teaching you the shallows. It's just a different way of doing it. And we're doing this in 7th and 8th grade, millions of reps. We're doing this millions of times every week. We do this every day. We get good at this, and hopefully you'll see it. And we have 2 tags on how to do it out of trips. There's one way. Inside receiver runs a slant. Our tag, inside receiver runs a slant, or you guys would call it a Y corner. We call it a hide.
Okay.
For this game, we changed it. We're going to do this. All hitch. And we should have completed this for a touchdown. Hopefully we can get to that. But we missed a 4th down completion on this, but you'll see it what we're doing.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what we're doing. Our other play that we're doing this week is Coach Salas. If you've seen Coach Salas,
yep.
This is his number 1 quick game. And we call this the curl flat. Call it what you want to. It's a speed out, and we're running a sort of a slant comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Salas has several videos on this, and he'll tell you we won the state championship more than 1 year running this play. He does it a couple of different ways, but he runs it one way. He runs it one way where he has a rhythm and a read side, but he runs it another way where he does the same thing on both sides, just like this. So if it's good enough for Coach Salas, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of stole something from him similar too. I mean, I call it a slant flat. Same thing.
Yeah. So we're doing this 6 to 8 yards. Plant your foot, turn around your outside leg. You're turning to see the quarterback. And until the ball is thrown, you run straight to the quarterback until the ball is thrown somewhere. So sometimes this is a 7-yard completion, 5-4. I mean, this may be a 2-yard completion.
I like that. I like that kind of direction like that. I mean, steal that. That's a pretty good idea.
Okay, we're going to go back. So that's pretty much everything on this. Any questions? Any clips you want? We can, if you want to see any clips of any of these plays.
Actually, what was that all hitches one that you just had, or the yeah. If you got anything of that, I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like.
Okay, well, the way I've got it linked here, the way I've got it linked for Big, you can't. I don't guess I've got it linked up to any plays. Let me see. No, I don't have it linked up to any plays on here. I'm sorry.
We can pull that up another time. It's no big deal.
Yeah. We can do the curl. Well, I thought I had the curl flat. If not, anyway, all right. Well,
that's all right. Before we get into clips and things like that, when you are going through your weekly practice, how because you're the same as us, we play on Thursdays as well, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is our main prep days. Obviously every once in a while we'll have a game on or our practice on Fridays. But
how do we practice basically?
Well, basically, what I was going to ask you is how often are you kind of like, are you trying to find periods throughout each practice where you are mimicking their defense every single practice, or is it you save it like, okay, Wednesday is our main kind of scout.
No. We do basically, again, we have 100 to 120 guys practicing at the same time on the same field.
Yeah.
So we're practicing all together. We basically are practicing a couple hours. We're doing 7th grade. So we got 3 coaches doing 7th grade offense, while the other 3 coaches are doing 8th grade defense. So if you're a defensive coach, I've got 7th grade offense, and you're on the other side of the field doing 8th grade defense. And we're doing that 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're swapping.
Okay.
And that's our practice. And in the periods, and you're right. I started today. I started to get on our Google. I started to get our practice schedule from that last week, but I didn't do it because I figured I already had too much stuff. But yes, in our periods, we'll do an endo period, we'll do a group period, and then we'll do a 7-on-7 period on offense, and I'll do a run game period. So that's basically it. In the run game, so we did in our run game. was a few minutes of that pass pro, and then we'll go to our run game. That was our run game, and then we'll do 7-on-7 where we'll go live against that defense, against that safety, and we'll run these. The other thing that wasn't known here, because we practice it every week anyway, is our bubbles. We practice our bubbles again because you could see how tight they were. The bubble, the now screen, the screen to the outside receiver was going to be open. I didn't put that on the specific game plan because we're repping that every week. In the orbit drill, which we'll talk to when we'll get into the clips. Because
that was one thing else I was going to ask you is, looks like a quick screen is wide open there too. With that.
That's the other thing. I didn't list it on there because that's just in our game plan every week. Everybody knows we're going to do it. We still do it, and we did it, and that was a big game. That was the game winner for us.
Yeah, just based off their alignment there, they're just begging you to throw it.
Yep. Yeah. But they want you to do that because they think they're going to get you before you get to there. And that was our cat and mouse game. Was us go back before we get into the clips. Let's talk about what you're fixing to hopefully see. I'm going to show you our 7th grade game. One of the reasons why is when I do stuff like this, I like to show 7th grade for us. We do have an elementary program. It's not affiliated with the school, but they don't do air raid stuff. But hint, hint. I'm in no way affiliated. Hint, hint. Affiliated with the elementary program, but nothing goes on in our elementary program that I don't or know about.
Right.
We have made a conscious. We don't do air raid stuff. We do some of our concepts and drills and practices and basically tackling stuff. But they do eye stuff. They do jet sweep stuff. They do little wings tee stuff. They just do basic football.
Right.
They look forward to doing the air raid stuff when they get to me, but they don't do it. So when I do stuff with you and guys, I like to show our 7th grade the stuff that we do basically just the summer and the August. Of course, in this summer, we could basically condition. We didn't start football stuff till like the week before practice in August. So we had really limited time. We only practiced every other day in August because of the way we had to clean our lockers and do all that and do the social distancing.
Right.
We could only do the 15 minutes. We had to stay line play separated. So we could only use all of our coaches instead of practice 7th, 8th grade together. We only practiced one group. So they only got it every other day. So they had a lot less practice time, but they can do it. And so I like to show, so I always like to show when I do stuff of what our 7th graders can do with no prior experience in it. They get to me in the 7th grade and at the level. So with this game, we threw the ball 23 times. We threw 4 passes beyond 20 yards. We threw, I think, 12 passes 0 to 10 yards. That's classic quick game.
No, absolutely.
We're not throwing it. I think our first quarter, and that's one of the things we couldn't get to pull up. Our average pass completion was 7.4 yards. Second quarter to the mid-third quarter, we opened it up. We had some success. We averaged 12 yards. The last quarter, the money, we averaged 19 yards a throw.
Wow. When you're saying 19 yards a throw, are you saying the actual distance the ball's throw or just the actual
average? No. Our average per play with catches and runs, just yards per yard. My term is yards per catch.
Okay.
Not throws, just the play.
Okay. So that yards and all that's included. Yeah, I got you.
We did get lucky. If we see the clips, you'll see some clips where we should have had some interceptions. We got lucky on the tip ball. We got lucky on our alignment. But that's what it takes. When you get a little rhythm, you get lucky. So hopefully you'll see all that. But our quarterback, we are just average. This is our worst 7th grade group ever. And we beat this team that was undefeated. We were pretty successful, but they were very coachable. We do have a pretty good quarterback. He was 19 out of 23. Anyway,
Pretty impressive.
So hopefully we can figure out how to do some clips.
All right, so go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Bottom of the screen, hit stop the stop sharing button. There you go. And then go ahead and you got your huddle. You got huddle clips already opened up, ready to go. Sorry, y'all. He hopped out again, so we'll pick it back up here in a minute. If you want to join in the conversation, go ahead and click on this, and you can come in and be part of the group, asking questions, being part of the discussion if you'd like to. More than welcome. The more, the merrier. So if you want to come on in and join in, click on that, and I'll pop you in here, and we can go ahead and talk with Coach about his preparation.
I know it won't happen. Hopefully I have the huddle on there now, so hopefully it'll get to it.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. All right, so I'm going to share screen again. Chrome.
Just waiting for it to pop up on my end here. There we go. Yeah, we got it.
Oh my goodness gracious! All right. All right. One thing. Do you want me to when we go full screen, see if we can do it, or is that good?
Well, yeah, go see if you can't go full screen on it. See if that makes it a bit low. There you go. Yep, that worked.
Right. Now, one thing, all right, y'all have laughed at. We can be on the field. Eighth grade is not, but seventh grade, again, league rules. You can have coaches on the field if you want. So if you're going to go on the field, we're going to go on the field. All right, this is seventh graders. We're in the white. We're on offense. This is our first possession, and we're already down 8-0. We knew we couldn't stop. You saw those big guys on defense. We knew we couldn't stop it. So that was the other thing. So this is our first play. Actually, this is our second play. First play, we gained 3 yards. This is our second play. Okay, we go in motion. You notice I said we were going to go to the. Remember when I do it the all hitch, and I said we're going to go away from the trips. Remember?
Yep.
All right. Now I already knew that when we went in motion that they were going to adjust. I knew they were going to do the old. Here I come. I'm going to come over. We're reading. And here's the two defender, and you see him come up. So let's see it. He goes in motion. You see what they so you see that they're rotating just like we said they would do.
Yep, they sure are.
So we're doing that all hitch route. This is what you're going to see. Okay, so we'll run through it, and then we'll go back a couple times because I want to spend some time on this, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
All right, same. This is that play. We're in doubles. We're in our 2x2. We're going in motion. Any questions you want to ask pre-snap? Now, one thing that we did now. One thing. Whoop. No, we're back.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. One thing this receiver did that we didn't over here on the all hitch that you don't get on the paper. We want to widen out. We typically line up on the bottom, on the top of the numbers. We told the receivers we want you to go wider. So you notice, typically we're never out here. Top of the numbers, bottom of the numbers. He's out here wide like he's supposed to give some width here because we're reading this two defender. Okay, we figured, and we put the back in motion. So we put the back in motion. We tagged the back to go on the R flare because Oxford loves the R flare. We figured we would take the bait, so that was going to leave green grass. Notice these two receivers over here do the all hitch.
Yep, saw it.
Yep. So and we repped the mess out of this play all week. One step drop, boom, throw it, boom, gets it out of his hands. Perfect.
Nice. What was that? the corner's alignment. That when he what was his alignment when he about 7 yards off the ball?
No,
He
look
looked
at it. He's
he was up.
tight.
Yeah, he
So
was.
I almost changed the side. I almost checked to the side because look at this guy to the field. So to the
Yeah.
boundary, he knows he's got help. So yeah, he's gonna get close because he's got help to the field. I mean to the boundary, to the field. He's backed up. Hello?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. So so this is our next play. This is our play 25. This is our next play. This is our curl flat.
Yep.
Not sexy. Anybody can do this. Oh, sorry. Again, in doubles, he's not out wide enough. He should be out wide enough. But again, we're reading this two defender. The other thing about our quick game, just like the all hitch, the other thing about our quick game, about our 4 plays, this is the secret sauce I'm giving you our secret away. I hope none of our opponents watch.
I don't know anybody other than you in Mississippi, so I think we're good.
Every quick game route, we want you to, if I'm playing you, I want you to think that every play we're running is a 6, an all go, a vert, whatever it is that you call it. I want you to think that we're going for, Coach Taylor's 6. I want you to think we're going an all go every time. Every couple yards off the line of scrimmage, whether it's an all hitch, whether it's a, whatever our 4 plays are, we're going vertical downfield. We want the linebacker. We want all these guys to think, it's Oxford. Here he is. They're going over the top. Okay, the all hitch was the same way. They're going vertical. We want to make you think it's vertical. We want you backpedaling. Okay, even on this speed out, this all hit, this speed out, what makes that work? And this guy does a good job. He collides him. Okay, but we want you to think it's an all go. So right now, for your reads, you think it's an all go. We're doing the speed outs over here. We're reading the 2 defender, and he's coming back up underneath. Boom. There he goes. When I block, and you go back. Remember, we were worried about blocking we said we're going to have a 3-man wall. You see, wow, look at their nose.
Big.
And look how big the So you see, that's why we did what we did, and we still came blocking. But here again, we're moving the sticks. We get 9 on it. He makes a good run, and we get 9 yards on it.
That's good.
Okay. We're in. I think it's still the same. We're still in doubles. See, I really want to remember what I said. Well, I really want to get you in trips. We hadn't done that yet. I'm saving it because we're actually going pretty good. So I haven't done what we really want to do yet. I really want to do trips. Okay, so next play. Here's our bubble. Like everybody else runs it. Number 2 blocks number 1. Our R blocks the number 2. He messes this up. Terrible route. He's supposed to go vertical. This is why our bubble game, our bubbles aren't part of our quick game. We're not reading anybody.
Right.
We call this a no-step throw. You get it. You set your feet and throw it.
Yep, same here.
Terrible route by this guy. Also, this is a bubble. What do you see on this? Again, this guy's widened out. What about this guy right here?
He needs to be wider, yeah.
He needs to be wider. He's messed it up. He needs to be wider with all that green grass. He needs to be wider. And you see what happens. We get nothing. He goes to block number 2. He sees this guy. His guy's not even watching. He can ear hole him, and he runs right by him. Watch. And he doesn't run. Keep this play in mind. Keep that play in mind. So we get nothing on that play. I'm really mad. And this is our best guy. He's caught a bunch of touchdowns. This is our best receiver, and I'm already hacked at him. I think this is our next play. This is, y'all would call this the smash. So I'm pissed at this last play, but I know they rotate up. So what am I going to do this play? Since they let's go back to the bubble. They knew we were going to do the bubble because look, again, they all took off linebackers there, but they all took off, didn't they?
They did. They read it real quick.
Look at the safety here. So they know we're doing the bubble. There's no surprise. So I said I couldn't wait any longer. This is the next play. I went, okay. And even though they're back here.
Yeah. Hit him with it. Nice.
Now, we run the hide. Again, they're doing the same thing on the other side, and that was really wide open. He's running the hide. Y'all would call it the Y corner.
Mm-hmm.
We told our guys, too high safety, don't worry about going to the pylon on this game. We're worried about this safety over the top. Because again, they know we're going to do this. This is one of the reasons why they're in too high safety, to stop our all goes in this route right here. But we said we think we can get over here in this area right here. So we said when you get it, we want you to bend it out. Don't go to the front pylon like we normally teach. We want you to, once you make your cut, to bend it out. He did perfect. We're running a terrible smash. He's running the hitch. We're running the hitch. This guy does it again. So we've introduced the hitch. So we run the hide route where we either run it one of two ways. The outside receiver can run the bubble, which we just did,
right,
or the hitch, which we did the play before. So they've seen both of these. So again, since the hitch is in the plays for this week, we run a terrible hitch over there, but he takes the bait. You'll see it. So now that you know what you're looking at, and they're doing the same thing on the other side. Again, This is a one-step drop. It's the same play. This is the high drop.
Yeah, so you're reading that corner. Yep.
Oh, sorry. I went back one play too many. This is the high route. Here we go. Yep.
Yeah, so he jumped that hitch route. Yep. He jumped in. Same thing. We each on that corner route. Read the corner first.
So again, a lot of guys do the same thing, but you notice how we set it up. Again, that was your question of and I'm with you. I love seeing good, sexy plays, but I'm like you. I want to know why others do what they do, why they do it, and that helps me as a coach. I don't do play bands. I don't bring a sheet out there. We want to go fast, which you don't see on the Huddle clips. You and I discussed it on the Zoom.
Yeah.
We thought that was a way to neutralize their rush. We wanted, and that was the other thing that we preached, and that was in the game plan and that points of emphasis. We want to go fast. We call it, when we want to go super fast, we call it NASCAR.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of air raid teams do the same thing. Now, if you've played us a little bit before, you notice over here, what do you notice about our 2x2 look that's different than over here? It's wider.
Yeah.
This is where our number one play that we like in the red zone that I said we weren't going to use, but I put it on the presentation, the slant hitch, our number one play. I messed up. I signaled this wrong. You can see over here, they're running an all slant. And over here, he runs the slant hitch. It was my mistake, but sometimes you get lucky. Again, we've got them on the heels. We've completed. This is our 1, 2, 3. This is in the same drive. We've completed 4 straight passes. And this is our 5th play in the same drive. Our slant hitch route, great. Undefensible route.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the only difference is we kept the back end. Normally on the slant hitch, the back would flare. I don't think he flares here, does he? I think he goes and attacks that guy, which is what we told him. No, he flares. He takes the bait. Quarterback is told then. He's looking his first read. So if then, and so we go, well, how do you know which guy he throws to? we're not looking. We teach the quarterbacks to look at the defender and then green grass. We're not looking at routes, which that might be different than everybody. Every coach wants to teach it differently. So the question would be like, well, coach, what are you specifically telling your quarterback? We're telling you to work at the number 2 defender and then look to green grass. You should already know. So if you're my quarterback, I go, Jason, you should already know what the route is. You don't have to look at the guys running the route. Once you find the defender, then the defender's going to give you your green grass, and you just throw it to the guy in the green grass.
Very similar to what I do. I tell them, okay, you know what routes we're running. All right, you know what area of the field that route is going to be ran, and you're looking for that defender. And again, based on what that defender does, will determine where you're throwing the ball.
So again, sometimes when you're going good and in rhythm, 4 straight completions, you get lucky. You can tell he's not really sure what the route. You see, he's not really going full speed. He's not really sure if he should do the hitch or the slant. But when he sees the number 2 defender, and you can see him, he's looking it looks like he's looking at this 2 defender to me. So when he sees the defender take off, he breaks his route off into the green grass, like it's what we just teach him, because we laughed about it later. These guys, the guy said, Coach, you called it wrong. You did the wrong signals, and I probably did, because I'm excited. We're fixing to score, and it was my fault. But sometimes you get lucky. But
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask you next. Do you allow your receivers to break off the route to the green grass if they see it?
Yeah, and we do the green grass drill. We do the settle and noose. Matt Lasker had it. I think I sent him our version of the settle and noose is different than his. He loved it, and I think he posted it at some point back in the day in August sometime. But we score. Anyway, so we're in the hunt. We don't get here now. This is later. Again. We don't stop them. They score again. We're behind again. We can't stop them again. Again, we're doing an all hitch thing. It's in the game plan. We're doing an all hitch. He's widened out a little bit. The ball's in the middle of the field. He's widened out on the numbers like he's supposed to. I'm still pissed at this receiver. That's why we don't throw over there. And I keep telling him, until you run your route right, I'm not throwing to you. We're going in motion. Now, this is our first incompletion, but we go back. It's in the game plan, and you can see the route. Since it's 2, you can see the route run. His route is too deep, and he doesn't break it off, and he's not wide. He should be out here like this other guy, and we're lucky it's not intercepted.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show it. So I wanted to show you our warts. It's like the play you saw again. Linebacker takes. So you see, he's open. Look where he's open. He's open out here. Well, let's go back. If he lines up correctly, if he lines up out here, runs 5 yards, quarterback's going to get it to him out here, and that's a touchdown, because you see this guy goes forward. He sees our back flaring, and they're rotating. They're rotating over just like we wanted them to. If he runs this route correctly, that's a touchdown, or that's a possible touchdown right there. So I wanted to see it where this is us not doing it correctly, but you can see it's effective. Our R is always in our game plan, and we want to see if you're going to cover our R. They're covering it. They know what we're doing, but that's leaving this great. But that's leaving all this exposed. But we messed this up. This is our first incompletion. And I wanted to show it.
No, it's good. It's a good teaching point too. Very good teaching point.
So next play, we come back to all hitch again. So again, what you're going to see is that all hitch, 4 yards in the cross, 4 yards in the cross, 5 yards in the cross. This guy ran his route perfectly. And again, he's kind of covered. We don't put him. We figured since we're moved in a little bit, these guys are going to start coming. So we don't put him in the route. We tag him to block. We don't tag him in the route. Again, they're open.
Yeah.
But he backs off a little bit. He backs off a little bit. The linebacker, first time he's backed off, we're a little lucky. It gets tipped.
Yeah, see that.
But again, you can see the route down here again. We should have gone down here. You see, look at the green grass right here to this outside receiver.
It's wide open.
He's wide open. He's uncovered.
Yeah, the corner just bailed on you.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we completed it and got lucky. We first down again. Here's what we love to do. So we get up to the line. So when we get lucky, we get going. We get a little momentum. Again, I wanted to put it in here. You wanted to know what we do, why we do, when we do it.
Yep.
Again, we do this a couple more times in these clips. So we get lucky. We know we're lucky, but hey, let's put our pedal on the gas. So we're going to get a cheapie here. We're going to get first. So now we're 1st and 5.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's no snap play. I have that in my playbook every time. Yep, and I have it for every formation too.
Again, I mean, I'm not telling you anything that others don't do. But again, I think that's the purpose of this time is Coach, what do you do? Why are you doing? Or why did you do it when you did it? We got lucky, so there we go. So this is play. Okay, that's the offside play. So again, this is the play right after this. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to press it again. Since we feel like we've got them on their heels a little bit. So this is again when I like to take a chance. So we're going to take a chance here. So what you're going to see is a play off our bubble route. So I'll explain it to you in a second. So again, both sides are doing the same thing, so you can't cheat.
Yeah. And you set that play up too as well, because you showed the bubble before. It's kind of similar to what I talked about in a previous video where I like to set up plays that look similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So this, we call this our stutter. So he is supposed to block one defender, and you'll see him when he gets in front of that one defender, identifies him, he slows down and stutters, and you'll see it. They stop, and we get him. Another thing, this guy doesn't. He's supposed to go 2 yards down and come back, but what he does do, that we're coached, and that gets to safety. You'll see it here. When he comes back, his hands come up.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see this guy's looking at it because he thinks it's the bubble. When he sees our guy turn around and put his hands up, you'll see him come forward just a second. About the time our guy goes behind him and he goes, oh, shit. So now that you kind of know, and again, this guy's wide open on the top side. We should have gone on the other side.
Yeah.
This is the one step for us. The Y corner, this stutter is a one-step drop. Everything's a one-step drop. Again, the quarterback. But again, and I want to brag on my guys. I don't see a number 9 like you had. We talked about, and I don't see a number. Look at these guys here. These are just guys.
Right.
There's not a guy here that you look at and go, "Oh shit, that looks like a player." We got to find him and make sure. I mean, look at their guys. Look at these big old mooses. Look at that guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they had some studs.
And look at our guys. Our guys are just guys. So it just shows you that if you execute and do the stuff, you can hang in there, and that's all we're trying to do is do what we do. Get rid of it quick. This guy's good. This guy is good. We've completed 6 passes and 1 incompletion, and he had to put that high because the linebacker was there. He is good. He is good. So here's our route. Here's our stutter route. See him right there. He stuttered automatically. Hands go up, and he instead of staying flat, he starts to go forward 4 step because he's looking at this. It looks to me like he's looking at this guy. And right there, he sees I'm dead. I'm gone. And our quarterback puts it. Yes, you're right. That's good.
There's two things I see there because like you said, that is the play after you just got them to jump off sides. So typically, what happens when you get them to jump off sides, the defense is playing tentative already. So they're
Right.
you took advantage of their aggressiveness and got them to jump off sides. Now all of a sudden they're thinking next play, okay, I can't be as aggressive because I don't want to get called for a penalty again. So therefore now they're playing back on their heels.
Exactly. That 3-play sequence, the first play we got lucky, got 20 yards on a play that they tipped, and they're probably thinking of, damn, we should have intercepted that. They run up to the line, then they get offside. So they're even further, like you say, further discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, we're hoping the coaches are just probably doing nothing. They're not going to blitz. They're just going to play base because they got to get they got to get everybody back. They got to get organized. So we're gonna try to see if we could hit them again. So that 3-play sequence, I think, was where after we got lucky, I thought, hey, we're at midfield. They're better than us. Let's take a shot. What do we got to lose? And that's what we did. That's what I was thinking. That's right or wrong. That's how I set that up.
And that's relatively still early in the game too, right? That last score.
This is all still first half. They've scored twice, so we already know we're going to have trouble stopping them. So we already know we've got to do something offensively, or we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
But so far, again, these guys are undefeated. Only one team has scored against them, so we feel like we're starting to at least establish what we're doing. We just got to keep doing it.
Well, not only that too, but you're following kind of the same philosophy I followed too. Is you get the defense thinking. You showed them a bubble, then you showed them that you're willing to make them jump off sides, and then on top of that, you've shown them now the bubble, the fake bubble, and throw it vertical. So now you got the defense thinking. So now that plays dividends, especially if it's a close game later on in the game where okay, they show me this, they could be doing 3 or 4 things now. They got to worry about 3 or 4 different things. Now you got the defense thinking, and I've always said that if you get a defense thinking, you've won.
And for us, all we want to do is neutralize those. We want to neutralize those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Because if they loosen up, we're good. Because now we got 3 over 2. We got 5 in the box. We feel like we can run on them. And our best runner is this little quarterback. Now, I didn't put any – we do run against him better than I thought we would, and he gets loose for a couple of long runs. But I know we're not going to run consistently against this, but we got to make sure we neutralize. But I thought, yes, like you're saying, the more we were able to move the ball, the less chances they were going to take with these 2 guys. They were either going to just keep them right there and live with it and hope that sooner or later we're going to throw it an interception, and this big old guy that we have trouble with blocking, or they're going to loosen up and just keep everything in front of them. And either way, I'm thinking we can at least keep the ball on offense, keep it away from them.
Yep.
So, all right. So here we're going to go. We're going to try the. I think we're going to try the now screen here. Yep. We hadn't done that guy. That guy, as you can tell, that's our route runner right there. That guy does exactly what he's supposed to do. Again, just like everybody else, we instead of run blocking this, we're going to pass block this. So you have your choices of how you run your now screens. You can run block it. You can pass block it. We do it both different ways. Again, I'm worried about backside. If we run block it, backside guy, and I'm worried about this guy. So I'm gonna pass block it. See what we're doing. Good block. Number 2. And you'll see him. We worked on this week, the orbit drill, get it and bend it back out. And he tries to bend it back out just like we coached him. Here he goes inside and he bends it back out.
Good.
Nothing sexy about this, but we get what? 8-9 yards?
Easy yards.
As what was Coach Lasker call it? He calls that easy money.
Easy money. Yeah, and that's not even a yard throw.
Again, the pass rush is not quite as we're in the middle of the game, not quite as fierce. Yeah, these guys aren't coming. We're just executing. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. We're doing the now screen on both sides. So again, these 2 guys not sure what I guess, middle school, I guess they can read the quarterback's eyes, but if they're looking, I'm sure if they're too high safety, they're probably looking at the number 2 receiver, right?
Yeah.
So the number 2 receiver is doing the same thing on both sides. So they can't be cheating and, all that sort of stuff. So again, just going back, just good execution, 9 yards, boom, we're good. Right before the half. So we just, and that's it for that. So second half. Let's see what we're looking at here.
We are about
this is your play, Coach. This is your play. This is your play you asked me about.
Before you run away, we are about 1:20 into this, so we're gonna kind of probably keep it around 1.5 hours, if that's all right, Coach.
Oh, we're finishing up here. Okay. When you need me to move forward, just tell me to move forward. Okay. This is your play. I've done some stuff with others on our flare, but you asked me how we run it.
Yeah.
Here's how we run it. We get no yards on this, but you can see where the green grass is. This should have been a touchdown. All right. Our flare for us, we don't swing. We go straight down the line. We teach it. We tell our backs to get even with we talked about this, about cheating up. He's cheated up. He's widened out on the tackle a little bit. He's told to turn and run 3 hard steps as fast as you can, like a dog's chasing you. Then turn. You should be slightly in front of the quarterback. The quarterback, he's told this is a no-step throw. Get it, plant your foot, and throw. Yep. We're blocking 1-man, 2-man. We are run blocking here. So this guy messes us up. He should be stepping to the left, cutting this guy off. This should have been a big play because, again, they've taken themselves out of the play. This should be almost like a crack black. He should be ear-holding this guy. This guy's backed up. Look at all the green. So, again, the first couple steps. Look at the green. This.
Yeah, it's there.
I'm thinking this is a touchdown. But see, we don't seal this guy off. And look, we don't seal this guy in. We run right in front of him instead of blocking him inside like we're taught to. But that is perfect execution. Perfect throw. He gets it in stride. He bobbles it a little bit, but he's in stride. If we get those 2 guys blocked and we have them accounted for, look at this. Look at our receiver right here. He's blocking this guy. This is a big play. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but again, this is, I've done some this is a base play for us.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't worried. I was mad that this wasn't a big gainer, but they're still doing the same stuff and they're still reacting the same way. So I'm still thinking, we're to the good. So again, that's how we do the R flare.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot, man. I might be stealing that from you for sure.
Yeah,
now, I teach swing. I teach swing, so
when you swing, you never. It's hard to be in the same. For me, again, not trying to tell anybody or what we do is any better, but just out of trying it to swing, we couldn't complete it. For us on our flare is a type of sweep. So I tell our guys, when I call the R flare, I don't think that it's not going to be completed. This, like last year, we ran it 33 times and completed it 30 times. I mean, I don't think that we're not going to complete this. This needs to be a 99.9% completion rate. So how do we get it where it's automatic? Well, we have to do the same thing, the same way, the same time. If you swing with different backs, different arcs, you're never in the same place. Quarterback, you might be slightly behind, slightly ahead. So for us, years ago, we just stumbled on the fact that it's just easier to teach it going straight across. You get it, plant your foot, and throw it. We get it out quick. We get it to supposedly our best, fastest guy in some green grass. And typically, all you got to do is outrun one defender. And if you are, you've got green grass out here. So that we just simplified it. We want this pass completed, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why we do that. All right, we're running the all slant. That was also in our game plan. It's always in our game plan every week. And again, so I'm going to tell you, we're going to the. So what have you seen differently? I said in our game plan early an hour ago. What we really wanted to do was not run 2x2, but get you in what?
Get you 3x1.
3x1. Did you see any 3x1 the first half?
No. I love it.
Save it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love how you say it.
And it wasn't by design. It's just that we were doing okay, so I didn't need to use it, so I didn't. So here I go. I'm gonna go out to the 3x1, and nothing different. It's just like I drew it up in the just play. Safety moves over. Safety moves up. They're 3x3. Guy. I said the guy would probably move forward and in tight. He's certainly where he is, but he's up tight. He's just where I told. Everything is just like I told our kids they would be. Okay, we're running the slant. So what I should have called, what have we messed up already? Pre-snap. What, as a coach, tell me what's wrong.
Well, I'm trying to see. He's not wide enough.
We're not wide enough. We're not wide enough. He's golden. He's up on the line of scrimmage. Look at the grass. Look at the grass. Perfect route.
Yeah, it's a lot of traffic there too, since he's not wide enough. Yep, I see it. A lot of traffic.
Let's look at the good. Good. Perfect. He's ready to receive the ball. Good. He's flaring again. And we've been known to flare and throw it out more than once. He takes the bait again. This is good. That's good. Easy read. He's not wide enough. And our quarterback gets lazy. Look at the quarterback. Let's go back. He doesn't take his one-step kick step. Look, he steps with the wrong foot. See, he takes a hop step.
Yeah. He's got to reposition. Yep.
He's got to reposition, and there's fixing to be a bunch of traffic. We get lucky. Again, we get lucky. He puts it right there. We get lucky.
Now, just out of curiosity, in your 3x1, you want your single backside receiver to be pretty wide?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So he's a little confused because we're on this hash. Typically, we tell the default to line up on your other landmark. Well, if you're on this hash, your nearest landmark is there. He's right. But on the slant, anytime we call a slant, we tell all receivers to take 2 lateral steps. So he should have been halfway. He should have been here. Right. And that would have opened it up because he would have been where, if we'd have done it right. Well, that's the next play. This is the next play. Let's go back to him. Okay, then that's the play. If he widens out, he would have gotten the ball on the hash instead of where it was. All right, so let's go back to the next play. Okay, so we get lucky. So again, we thought we were going to maybe take a gamble. We're still in 3x1. Okay, we're going to take a shot. We get lucky. So look what we did. So the same thing again. When we got lucky the first what did we do?
When we got lucky,
when we got lucky the first half, the very next play we ran up and see if we could get them offside. So we got lucky for this very next play. We did the same thing and the same thing.
Yep.
So again, we do run one play and you see what happened. I can't remember what happened if we fumbled a snap or something. You see this is the next. You see, this is the next. Well, 2 plays later, you see what happens. We've lost about 15 yards. I can't remember exactly what happened. So, but we're in 3x1 still. So I go, hey, why not? What's to lose? Why not? I know we want to move things along.
There's a good adjustment on that route, or a good adjustment on by the receiver, I should say, of tracking that ball.
Receiver does a good job on this, but also over here, look at this inside receiver does what we told him to do on this, because we knew we were going to do this. All go 3-by-1, because we knew again they were going to go 3-by-3. We told our inside receiver to run right to the other side of the safety, because we thought he was going to look at the 3 receiver, and look, it keeps him long enough. And look at our receiver. That's what makes this play work. He runs a good route. He goes outside, but he makes the play work. He did what we told him to do. You know, typically Goobers, they just run straight in the line down here. But he did what he was supposed to do, and look at the safety. He keeps the safety occupied. And you can see the safety once we run it. He's looking at that 3 receiver watch.
Teach it the same exact way at 4 verts out of one.
See our receiver, and you see him. He just backpedals, keeps him enough in there. Ball's under a little thrown.
Now he's that quarterback. He's just taking 1 step and he's letting it go, right?
Again, this is our quick game. Quick game with 1-step drop, and he did a good job that time, because I'm already back there. I'm already pissed at him about that slant. So I told him to make sure. And the other thing you saw, he threw it. The receiver had gone 10 yards, and we said 10 to 12 yards. It better be out of your hands. So for us, the all go, the 6, the vert, whatever you call it, is a quick game route.
Yep. Same here. Absolutely.
All right. So now we go 3-by-1 to the other side of the field. So we've done, okay, so what have you seen so far? You've seen the slant hitch on a mistake. You've seen the slant hitch a couple of times. I mean, the all hitch a couple of times. You've seen the curl flat a couple of times, and you've seen the bubble, the nail screen out of the doubles a couple of times.
Yep.
So you haven't seen this out of the doubles to the trip side. So here you fix to see it. Great, good blocking.
Yep. Good. Yep.
Blocks 1 receiver, 2 defender, 3 defender. He does a great job. He gets it. He bends it back to the orbit drill. He bends it back outside, getting back in his orbit, and he almost breaks it. Simple play. And you saw our receiver on the other side's doing the nail screen too. He's doing the nail screen. So we're to the end of the clips here. We're back to doubles real quick. We'll go through this pretty quickly. We get lucky again. We go back to the smash route. I don't know why he didn't throw it to this guy. So we're throwing back. Again, our hitches are in the game plan. So our outside, we're running, I think some of you guys call it a smash. Again, that play, the first of the game where we got the long, they're running the Y corner, and he's coming up underneath it and running that little hitch route.
Yeah.
So on this, he's reading the number. This is the only thing in our game plan that he's reading the number 1 defender. He's reading the number 1 defender, and the defender turns his shoulders. I don't know why he didn't throw it to the outside. 1-step drop. He does a good job getting rid of it. Again, a little lucky, a little traffic. We get a little lucky. Next play. Come.
There's again. Yep. Say it again.
But it's not in the same formation. We changed it up on you. It's not in the same formation. And we put the back to the other side.
Right.
I think we foxed him and put him back. Let's see. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. Well, in our clips, he blocks backside. So we've only got 1 defender, 1 blocker. But again, I'm going to skip forward here. This is I think we got 3 clips. This is our last drive. We're still behind. I think it's like a minute something left. We get the ball. We've stopped them. They punted. We get the ball right here at midfield with like 1 something left to go. So this is our first one. Our first go again into the game. I probably shouldn't have. This is probably a bad play call because I don't set it up. But I'm going, hey, you know what? Let's do it. This is our stop and go route. Watch the hesitation briefly, and it gets the guy. Watch his head fake. Did you see it? See it briefly?
He kind of froze up on me there. I didn't see it.
Okay. I'm gonna run it through, but everybody watch, and all receivers, they do a slight head fake, and watch how they react. See that?
No, I see it there. Yeah, absolutely. Any creates a nice little situation. Yeah. Now, does the quarterback pump on that at all, or no?
No
pump.
No. So this is I think basically a 2-play drive. So off our quick game, the stop and go, off the all go, we have another little deal that we do. We call it the stop and go. So they give that little head and shoulders fake, and it's still a 1-step drop, no pump, no nothing. We're just looking at the defender, see if the defenders again will take the bait, and we don't change anything other than a slight shoulder. We teach our receivers to a half shoulder turn, and you saw the receiver to dip his chin, and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just enough. The guy stopped his back pedal, and we were by.
Yep, it was great.
It's 50 seconds to go here. Great block, and he bends it back out.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so that's it. So that's it. So so all we did was 1 step. Within 2.5 seconds, everything that you just saw with 7th graders was out of the quarterback's hands.
Right.
Yes, we did get lucky on a couple of throws. Yes, our quarterback is uncannily accurate. But you didn't see anybody there against a good, undefeated 6A, big school, large school, big boy football team in Mississippi that knew what they were doing, that had good guys. And I'm not trying to down our guys. Our guys were good, but we had a game plan, and we stuck to those plays that I showed you, along with the bubble and a couple of slants. That's all that we ran. That's all that we ran.
And out of all this time, it's laid out in basically 3 points from what I could tell is, obviously first you got to try your best to know your opponent. You find out whatever you can. If you don't have film study, know your opponent. And then obviously practice time is key. Practice what you do good. And then lastly is simply just out execute them, because you laid it out perfectly, Coach.
If you see something in a game plan that you think might work, but that's really not you, sure, you might put it in the game plan and say, hey, we're going to practice this, and we might try it if there's certain situations. But I think the biggest thing for upper youth in middle school, do what you do.
Exactly.
You know what you can do. In practice, when it looks right. When you say to yourself, yeah, we can do this. We can do this against any opponent. That there's a couple plays you can do week in and week out. Yep. And we knew that Tupelo knew that we were probably going to do it. But we're just arrogant enough, thought that if we did it correctly and we knew we could do it, we're worried about us. We thought we game planned. All we needed to make sure we could block the big guy up the middle, and know where the number 2 defenders knew where they were. Yep. But we were going to throw off them, and it was stuff that we practiced every day anyway, and it was stuff that we thought we could do, and that didn't take a lot of time. Yeah. And the stuff that I showed you, I think any upper youth middle school can run those plays. A couple of the other than the 2 or 3 shots downfield, we didn't run a route. Not one route that I showed you was over 5 yards, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Other than I think we did 4 in those clips. I think 4 long routes over 20 yards. Other than that, we didn't run a route over 5 or 7 yards. Any upper youth middle school can do that if you practice air raid type stuff. you can do that. You can get where you can do that well. And it worked against a high quality big boy school opponent. And it kept us in the game and gave us some rhythm to where we were able to get lucky on a couple of throws and get some momentum, get their defense on their heels. And it kept us in the game and gave us an opportunity to win.
That is a perfect example too, Coach. I mean, all those clips you just showed is a perfect example of why I'm a firm believer of any team that can out execute another team is going to win majority of the time, even if they are not the most physically dominant team on the field. If they can simply out execute and they know what they're doing, and again, already I'm a firm believer too of the minute the offense and defense line up, offense automatically has the advantage because they know where the play is going. So then if you just execute that, then you are in that much better shape. So again, like you said, practice time and practice and what you are practicing and getting good at what you believe in is key. So I mean, you laid it out perfectly for us, Coach. You know, I appreciate you coming on and.
It was a lot of fun. I hope, hopefully, one guy or girl will look at this and maybe help, because this is I'm like you. This is the stuff, and I'm glad you asked me to come on. I wanted to come on. This is stuff that I'm interested in as well. I want to see what you and others do, so that that will help me. I mean, I think we kind of know what we're doing. We know our plays, and I still pick up stuff. But what I need is game stuff and see stuff that works against opponents. And I go, that's how we pick up stuff and see how others do it and apply it to you. So I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a blessing.
And that's a whole goal with this whole series, bringing coaches on here to share their experiences and then share what they think, so that all of a sudden, we're obviously the whole group is just sharing ideas, and we can just get better as coaches, because if we get better as coaches, then that translates out on the field on our players as well. So I appreciate you, Coach, for stopping by. Let me. What is your email? I can type it in here so that if anyone wants to contact you.
MC Hardwick, HARDWICK at Oxford, OXFORD for school district, OxfordSD.org.
It's OXS.
Oxford, OXFORD. SD for school district.
SD.org.
.org.
All right.
And of course, I think you've also got my number and you've got my phone number. If anybody wants to reach out to Coach, and Coach, you're welcome to give out my phone number. A lot of guys have and have texted me directly.
I won't give it out live though, Coach, over the YouTube. Do that personally, privately though.
Yeah. If they want to contact you, just privately, you're welcome to give it out. And the other thing, just to finish up, that giving me it gives us an opportunity to also meet other coaches, and of course, you and I have sort of developed a friendship relationship, and I reached out to you and asked you to do a Zoom with me. We did that a week or so ago, and we both picked up some stuff, and I felt like we both did some same stuff and had the same philosophies. And that's the other thing that this type stuff that you're doing brings. It enables coaches to reach out to each other and to do just stuff that we did not for YouTube, but we just did it for each other to get to know each other and to show each other stuff and to teach each other. And that's been what I've really enjoyed as well, is develop other relationships and pick brains and learn. And if there's anything that people think that we do well, to get to show it and exchange ideas. That was just awesome. And I think you and I have already said, well, we liked it so much, we want to get back together over the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got some more stuff to talk
about. That's what your thing is doing. It's also not is teaching coaching, but it's hooking coaches up to develop relationships in different areas that have the same philosophies to help each other get better. So again, it was a blessing, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Did I get that email right? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not.
I can't see it.
You can't see it. MC Hardwick, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's on the screen there for anybody that wants to get a hold of Coach. Also get a hold of me if you want to be a part of the episode, another episode of this, to share your experiences. And this is all about trying to help out younger coaches and newer coaches that are a little overwhelmed in their job. And also it's just about sharing ideas, because I mean, I've been writing down some things that Coach has shown me here just in this video here, I'm like, I'm going to take that. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal this. That's a great idea. And that's what it's all about. So again, Coach, I appreciate you coming on tonight. It was great talking to you again, and hope to hear again here soon. We still got some more stuff we got to talk about, you and I.
Absolutely. And of course, what I've talked about tonight, this is part of our quick game. If anybody has any interest in that, and get in touch with Coach Ross, and I can be glad to come back on and show you our whole quick game package. If you have any interest in that, that might be another good thing to do.
Yeah, let's set that up for sure. Absolutely.
Individually, show you what we do, and love to do that, because I can't wait to holler at you in a couple of weeks over the holidays. Let's do some more Zoom stuff, man.
Yes, sir, Coach. You have a great night, and everyone else that's watching, thank you for watching, and feel free to ask any questions if you have any. So till then, Coach, have a Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you before then, and everybody else, take care. Have a good night.
Blessings to you and your family. See you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.